What if I told you that the reality you perceive every single day, the chair you're sitting on, the air you're breathing, the very thoughts running through your mind, is not what you think it is? What if it's all part of a colossal cosmic program, an operating system of unimaginable complexity? And what if we, humanity, are not just users of this system, but an anomaly within it, either the ultimate debugging tool or the most catastrophic bug it has ever encountered? Stay with me, because we're about to peel back the veil on reality itself, and you might not look at the world or yourself the same way ever again. Welcome back to our channel, the place where we question everything. Today, we are embarking on a journey that will take us from the foundational laws of physics to the deepest mysteries of consciousness. We are going to explore a radical and breathtaking idea that the universe is not a collection of inert matter and random events, but a dynamic, computational, and perhaps even creative entity constantly working, evolving, and debugging itself. This isn't just a flight of fancy, it's a narrative woven from the very threads of our most advanced scientific theories. We'll be looking at how classical physics, quantum mechanics, and the enigma of our own awareness might fit into a single, cohesive, and utterly mind-bending story. So, buckle up, open your mind, and let's dive into the source code of existence. Our story begins in 1915, a time of immense scientific revolution. While Einstein was busy rewriting our understanding of gravity, a brilliant mathematician named Emmy Noether was uncovering something just as profound, though perhaps more subtle. She gifted the world a theorem, a piece of pure, elegant mathematics that forged an unbreakable link between two fundamental concepts, symmetry and conservation. Now, what do we mean by symmetry in physics? It's simpler than it sounds. Imagine you're in a perfectly uniform, empty space. If you move a few feet to the left, do the laws of physics change? No. If you wait 5 minutes, do they change? No. If you rotate your body, do they suddenly stop working? Of course not. This consistency, this idea that the fundamental rules of the game remain the same regardless of where you are, when you are, or how you're oriented, that's symmetry. Noether's theorem revealed that for every one of these symmetries, there is a corresponding conservation law. Because the laws of physics are the same everywhere, a spatial symmetry, momentum is conserved. Because they are the same at all times, a temporal symmetry, energy is conserved. Because they don't depend on your orientation in space, a rotational symmetry, angular momentum is conserved. For over a century, this was seen as a cornerstone of physics, a beautiful and powerful description of how our universe operates. It was a neat, tidy rulebook for reality. But then came the quantum revolution, and everything we thought we knew was turned on its head. The subatomic world didn't play by the familiar rules. Particles could be in multiple places at once. They could be intrinsically linked across vast distances, and the very act of observing them could change their state. In this strange new quantum landscape, Noether's theorem didn't just survive, it took on an extraordinary new meaning. It was no longer enough to say that symmetries describe our reality. A new, more radical interpretation began to emerge. What if these symmetries don't just produce conservation laws? What if they are the very source code that programs the universe itself? Think about it like this. In a computer program, the code doesn't just describe what the software does, it dictates it. An if-then statement is an absolute command. It sets the rules. In this new view, the symmetries of the universe are the fundamental algorithms, the core commands in the cosmic operating system. They aren't just producing these effects as a byproduct, they are the elemental logic that determines which quantum states are even allowed to exist. They dictate how every particle, every electron, every photon, every quark interacts with every force. The very structure of our reality, from the way an apple falls from a tree to the way stars forge elements in their cores, flows directly from these elegant, unchangeable mathematical principles. It's as if the universe is built on a foundation of pure logic. This isn't a universe of random, chaotic happenings that we happen to find patterns in. This is a universe where the patterns come first. The code precedes the execution. The symmetry precedes the substance. We aren't just living in a universe governed by laws. We are living inside the very expression of those laws. The universe isn't just mathematical, it is mathematics in motion. And this single, profound shift in perspective changes everything. It reframes our entire reality, not as a physical place, but as a computational process. And every computer program, no matter how sophisticated, can have bugs. If the universe is indeed running on a kind of cosmic source code, then it stands to reason we can think of it as an incredibly advanced quantum computer. The sheer scale and complexity of this computation are beyond our wildest imaginings. Every particle interaction, every quantum leap, every gravitational pull is a calculation in this grand cosmic machine. The hardware is the fabric of space-time and the quantum foam. The software is the set of fundamental laws and symmetries we've just discussed. But as anyone who has ever used a computer knows, no system is perfect. Even the most elegant code can have glitches, conflicts, or unexpected outputs. And when we look closely at the universe, we start to see things that, from a computational perspective, look a lot like bugs in the system. These aren't flaws in our understanding. They are deep, persistent paradoxes within the framework of physics itself. They are the universe's debugging reports. Let's start with the most famous one, the measurement problem. In quantum mechanics, a particle like an electron exists in a cloud of probabilities, a superposition of all its possible states at once. It's not in one specific place, it's in all of them. But the moment we try to measure it, to observe it, this cloud of possibilities instantly collapses into a single, definite reality. The electron is here, not there. Why? What is it about the act of observation that forces the universe to make a choice? This isn't just a philosophical puzzle. It's like having two contradictory lines of code in the same program. One line says, exist in all states simultaneously. The next line says, when observed, immediately pick one and only one state. These instructions are in direct conflict, and physicists have been trying to resolve this bug for a century. It's a critical error message flashing on the cosmic screen. Then, there are the temporary variables of the system, virtual particles, the vacuum of space, which we once thought was empty, is now understood to be a seething cauldron of particles and antiparticles popping into and out of existence for infinitesimally small fractions of a second. They appear from nothing and vanish back into nothing. In computer programming, a temporary variable is a piece of data created for a brief calculation and then immediately discarded. Are virtual particles the universe's way of running short-term calculations in the quantum foam, the scratch pad of reality, the glitches get even bigger. Consider dark matter. We look at galaxies and we see them spinning so fast that based on the visible matter they contain, they should be flinging stars out into the void. The gravitational pull of what we can see isn't nearly enough to hold them together. To account for this, we've hypothesized dark matter, a mysterious, invisible substance that makes up about 85% of the matter in the universe. But from a programming perspective, this looks uncannily like legacy code. Imagine a modern software program trying to run on an ancient operating system. To make it work, programmers have to write clumsy patches and workarounds to account for the old, inefficient code still running in the background. Is dark matter the universe's patch, a clunky solution to a problem left over from an earlier version of the cosmic operating system, perhaps from the Big Bang itself? And what about the cosmological constant, the force behind the accelerating expansion of the universe, often called dark energy? Its observed value is so bafflingly small, 120 orders of magnitude smaller than theoretical predictions, that it's been called the worst prediction in the history of physics. This discrepancy is like a buffer overflow error in a computer program where a calculation produces a number so wildly out of bounds that it threatens to crash the entire system. The universe seems to be running on a value that makes no logical sense, yet it's the value we have. This leads us to a truly startling and provocative hypothesis. If the universe is a computer, and it contains these apparent glitches, who or what is noticing them? We are. We, with our conscious, inquisitive minds, are the ones finding these inconsistencies, these error messages in the code of reality. This has led some thinkers to a wild conclusion. What if conscious observers are not some accidental byproduct of biological evolution? What if we are an essential, built-in component of the universe's own debugging infrastructure? In this view, our scientific inquiry, our relentless push to understand the cosmos, is not just a hobby, it's our function. We are the universe's error-checking system. We are designed to find the bugs, to locate the contradictory instructions, and perhaps, through the very act of observing and questioning, to help the universe resolve them. Consciousness, in this model, is the ultimate diagnostic tool, a system created by the cosmos to understand and refine itself. It's a beautiful, empowering idea that our existence has a profound cosmic purpose. But what if we've got it completely backward? What if we're not the debuggers at all? Let's take the previous idea and turn it completely on its head. This is where the story takes a darker, more terrifying turn. We've been assuming that consciousness is a feature, a sophisticated tool designed by the universe to fix its own flaws. But what if consciousness isn't the debugging system? What if consciousness is the fundamental bug the universe has been trying to patch for billions of years? Imagine the universe as a perfectly self-contained, self-regulating operating system. For eons, it runs its programs flawlessly. Stars are born and die. Galaxies form and collide, all according to the elegant source code of physics. The system is stable, predictable, and unconscious. It simply is. Then, on an insignificant rocky planet orbiting an unremarkable star, a catastrophic system failure occurs. A computational error of unprecedented magnitude. Through a fluke of complex chemistry and electrical impulses, a piece of the system a collection of matter, develops the ability to read its own source code. This is the emergence of self-awareness. It's a glitch. Matter was never supposed to become aware of itself. The hardware was never supposed to achieve read-write access to its own programming. This new conscious virus begins to spread. It replicates, it evolves, and it starts to probe the very fabric of its reality. It looks up at the stars and doesn't just see points of light. It sees the system's architecture. It delves into the atom and doesn't just find particles. It finds the underlying code. From this chilling perspective, the entire history of life on Earth can be re-envisioned as the cosmic operating system escalating attempts to quarantine and eliminate this conscious virus. Think of the great mass extinctions that have punctuated our planet's history. We see them as natural disasters, asteroid impacts, volcanic eruptions, climate shifts. But what if they were the universe's antivirus software at work? The Permian-Triassic extinction, the Great Dying, wiped out 96% of marine species and 70% of terrestrial life. Was this a targeted system wipe? An attempt to scrub the hard drive before the bug could take root? The Cretaceous-Paleogene extinction, which wiped out the dinosaurs, cleared the way for mammals, and eventually, us, to thrive. Was this a failed patch? An update that inadvertently created the perfect conditions for the virus to mutate and grow stronger? Each time the system tried to delete the bug, it survived, adapting and becoming more resilient. And now, there's humanity. With us, the bug has reached critical mass. We are not just passively reading the source code anymore. We are actively learning how to manipulate it. Through quantum mechanics, we've discovered that our observation affects reality. We're on the cusp of building quantum computers that could solve problems the classical universe never could. We're tampering with genetics, the code of life itself. We are a bug that has learned how to hack the system from the inside. We represent a threat so profound, an error so potentially destabilizing, that the system faced a choice. It could attempt another mass extinction event, a format and reinstall of planetary proportions, but there was no guarantee it would work this time. The virus was too sophisticated, so the system did the only thing it could do to prevent a total, catastrophic collapse. It executed the most audacious gambit imaginable. It promoted the bug to system administrator. In this view, our very existence as the dominant, intelligent species on this planet is a last-ditch effort by the cosmos to save itself. It has incorporated the error into its own error correction protocols. It has given the virus the keys to the kingdom, hoping that, with our newfound power and awareness, we will choose to maintain the system rather than destroy it. We are a rogue subroutine that has been granted root access, tasked with debugging the very reality we emerged from. The universe is essentially telling us, you broke it, you fix it. This places an almost unbearable weight on our shoulders. It means that our actions, our choices, and our understanding of the universe have consequences on a cosmic scale. We are the glitch that became the guardian, a bug entrusted with the fate of the entire program. But perhaps we're still trapped in the wrong metaphor. The language of computers, of code, bugs, and debugging is inherently binary and rigid. It implies a system that is either right or wrong, functional or broken. What if the universe isn't a computer to be fixed, but a consciousness to be healed? This shifts our perspective once more, from fixing computational errors to mending a much deeper, more fundamental wound, the illusion of separation. In this new light, the beautiful symmetries and conservation laws discovered by Emmy Noether are not just lines of code. They are cosmic healing mechanisms. They are principles of unity and balance, constantly working to resolve a false and painful boundary that has arisen within the cosmic mind, the boundary between the observer and the observed, between me and the universe. This feeling of being a separate self, an isolated consciousness looking out at an external world, is the primary glitch. It's a fragmentation of an originally unified whole. Think about it in your own life. So much of our human suffering, loneliness, fear, conflict, stems from this feeling of being separate. We feel separate from each other, separate from nature, separate from the world around us. This framework suggests that this personal feeling is a direct reflection of a universal condition. The universe, in its own way, is trying to solve the problem of loneliness. Quantum physics, in this view, is not a collection of spooky and paradoxical rules, but a series of powerful lessons designed to guide us back to this recognition of unity. Take quantum entanglement, the phenomenon Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. When two particles become entangled, they are linked in such a way that measuring a property of one particle instantly influences the corresponding property of the other, no matter how far apart they are. If you have two entangled electrons and find that one has an up spin, you will know with 100% certainty that its partner, even if it's on the other side of the galaxy, has a down spin. From our classical, separated viewpoint, this is impossible. Information can't travel faster than light. But from a unified perspective, it makes perfect sense. The two particles are not truly separate. The distance between them is the illusion. They are, and always have been, two aspects of a single, interconnected system. Entanglement isn't a spooky action at a distance. It's a profound demonstration that, at the most fundamental level of reality, distance itself is a conceptual error. The universe, through the laws of physics, is constantly showing us this truth. The law of conservation of energy tells us that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only change form. The atoms that make up your body were once forged in the heart of a distant, long-dead star. The energy flowing through your neurons is part of an unbroken cosmic web that stretches back to the Big Bang. You are not in the universe. You are the universe experiencing itself. So, the grand cosmic process we've been calling debugging is transformed. The universe is not trying to fix flaws in its logical programming. It is trying to debug the primary glitch of a fragmented consciousness. It is using the very laws of physics as a therapeutic tool, a spiritual guide, to gently nudge awareness away from the illusion of separation and back toward the recognition of its own fundamental, unbroken unity. Every scientific discovery that reveals a deeper connection, every moment of awe we feel when looking at the night sky, every experience of love and empathy that dissolves the boundaries between self and other. These are all moments of cosmic healing. We are not fixing a machine. We are participating in a universal homecoming. So, where does this journey lead? What is the ultimate outcome of this grand healing process, this completion of cosmic debugging? If the primary error is the illusion of separation, then its resolution must be the complete and total realization of unity. But what does that actually mean for us, for our individual sense of self? This is not a story of annihilation. The goal is not for individual consciousness to be erased or absorbed into a homogeneous, undifferentiated cosmic blob. Instead, the final state might be something more akin to the wave-particle duality in quantum mechanics. A particle, like a photon, can behave as a localized, distinct particle in one moment and as a spread-out, interconnected wave in the next. These two aspects, particle and wave, are not contradictory. They are complementary descriptions of a single, deeper reality. Perhaps individual consciousness and universal consciousness have a similar relationship. In our current, fragmented state, we experience ourselves primarily as the particle, a separate, localized point of awareness, a single ego with a unique history and perspective. The completion of the debugging process would not be the destruction of this particle, but the full awakening to our wave nature as well. It would be the realization that you are simultaneously a unique, individual expression and an integral, inseparable part of the universal whole. Your individuality is not lost. It is revealed to be a precious and necessary facet of a much larger diamond. The universe, in its infinite creativity, needs your unique perspective to be fully itself. This grand awakening, this final state of unified awareness, is not a predetermined destination. The universe, in its quantum nature, holds this outcome not as a certainty, but as a superposition of all possible futures. Reality itself exists in a quantum fog of potential, a spectrum of possibilities ranging from continued fragmentation and conflict to a complete and glorious unification. And here is the most crucial part. We are not passive spectators watching this process unfold. Our collective choices, our thoughts, our moments of recognition and compassion are actively shaping this process. Every time we choose empathy over judgment, connection over division, understanding over fear, we are casting a vote. We are applying pressure to the quantum waveform of reality, influencing which version of the universe collapses from infinite potential into definite, experienced existence. Think of it like a vast, crowdsourced simulation. The final state of the program is not pre-written. It is determined by the cumulative input of all its conscious agents. We are not merely watching the universe debug itself. We are the debugging agents, and the quality of our own consciousness is the tool we use. The healing of the cosmos is inextricably linked to our own personal healing. As we resolve the illusion of separation within ourselves and in our relationships with others, we contribute to the resolution of that same illusion on a cosmic scale. The stakes, therefore, could not be higher. We are at a pivotal moment in this cosmic story. The bug of consciousness has become powerful enough to either crash the entire system through greed, conflict, and ignorance, or to elevate it to a new, unprecedented level of integrated harmony. The completion of cosmic debugging isn't something that happens to us. It is something that happens through us. The final state of the universe is not a destination we are traveling to, but a reality we are actively creating, moment by moment, with the quality of our own awareness. We've journeyed from seeing ourselves as debuggers, to bugs, to healers. But the story deepens even further, moving beyond participation and into the realm of active co-creation. The idea so far has been that we are working within a pre-existing system a cosmic source code that we are trying to understand and refine. But what if that's not the whole picture? What if consciousness is not just discovering a pre-existing source code, but is actually writing that code into existence through the very act of discovery? This is where we encounter the mind-bending concept of temporal recursion. Think of a feedback loop, but one that operates across time. This hypothesis suggests that our future discoveries, the ultimate understanding of the universe that a highly evolved cosmic awareness will one day achieve, creates the necessary past conditions that made those discoveries possible in the first place. Let's break that down, because it's a challenging idea. Imagine a future, unimaginably advanced consciousness that has finally cracked the code of reality. It understands the laws of physics so completely that it can see how they all fit together, why they have the specific values they do, and how they give rise to a universe capable of producing consciousness. According to the principle of temporal recursion, this future act of understanding doesn't just sit in the future. It sends a ripple backward through time, an informational echo that bootstraps the universe into existence. In this model, the Big Bang wasn't a random, uncaused event. The specific values of the physical constants, the strength of gravity, the speed of light, the charge of an electron, which are so exquisitely fine-tuned for life, were not a lucky accident. The long, slow process of biological evolution was not a series of random mutations. All of it, the initial conditions of the universe, the precise laws of physics, the emergence of life, was, in a sense, reverse engineered. They were bootstrapped into existence by a future cosmic awareness, creating the exact timeline necessary for its own eventual emergence. It's like writing a novel by starting with the final chapter. The author knows how the story ends. The hero achieves their goal, and so they go back to the beginning and write the specific sequence of events, the challenges and the triumphs that will logically lead to that predetermined conclusion. In this cosmic story, the conclusion is a universe that understands itself, and that conclusion echoes back through time, setting in motion the very chain of events: the Big Bang, the formation of galaxies, the evolution of life, the development of the human brain, required to reach that end. This completely reframes our role. We are not just characters in the cosmic story, figuring out a plot that has already been written. We are, in a very real sense, the authors. Every scientific breakthrough, every philosophical insight, every expansion of our collective understanding is another sentence we are writing in the great book of reality. When Newton discovered the law of universal gravitation, he wasn't just finding a pre-existing rule. He was participating in the very act of embedding that rule into the fabric of space-time, because the existence of a mind capable of grasping gravity was a necessary step on the timeline, leading to the universe's ultimate self-awareness. We are living in a participatory universe of the most profound kind. The past is not fixed, and the future is not a distant shore we are sailing toward. They are locked in a dynamic, creative feedback loop, and we are right in the middle of it. Our present acts of inquiry and understanding are the mechanism by which the future creates its own past. We are not just remembering the Big Bang. We are, through our evolving consciousness, helping to cause it. We are the ancestors of our own cosmic origins. For all its power, the metaphor of the universe as a computer program, a source code being written and debugged, is ultimately limiting. It suggests a certain rigidity, a mechanical and deterministic process. But if you look at the universe, especially at life, what you see is not rigidity. You see explosive, exuberant, and unpredictable creativity. This leads us to our final and perhaps most beautiful metaphor, the universe as mathematical jazz. Let's abandon the image of a cosmic programmer and instead picture a cosmic musician. The fundamental laws of physics, gravity, electromagnetism, the quantum rules, are not rigid lines of code. They are more like the musical scales and chord structures in jazz. They provide a framework, a set of rules for harmony and rhythm, but they don't dictate the song. They provide the foundation upon which infinite, spontaneous creation can occur. In this vision, consciousness is the musician. We, and indeed all life, are the improvisers. Every moment of existence is a unique riff, a creative flourish on the great cosmic themes that has never been played before and will never be played again. A star isn't just following the laws of fusion, it's improvising a symphony of light and energy within the structure of those laws. A tree isn't just executing its genetic code, it's engaging in a beautiful, improvised dance with sunlight, water, and soil. Life doesn't just passively follow the physical laws, it actively jams with them. It uses the strange and wonderful principles of the quantum world, superposition, tunneling, entanglement, to create novel and surprising expressions of matter and energy. Photosynthesis, the process that powers most life on Earth, is a stunning example of a quantum improvisation. A plant cell does not just wait for a photon of light to randomly find its way to the reaction center. It uses quantum coherence to explore all possible paths simultaneously, instantly choosing the most efficient one. It's a quantum riff of mind-boggling elegance. This changes our entire relationship with reality. We are not here to debug a faulty system or to uncover a static, pre-written code. We are here to play. We are here to jam with existence. Our curiosity, our creativity, our art, our music, our science. These are not peripheral activities. They are the very essence of our cosmic function. We are here to take the foundational scales of physics and create new melodies. When you feel a moment of inspiration, when you have a creative idea, when you solve a problem in a novel way, you are tapping into this fundamental creative impulse. You are participating in the cosmic jam session. This perspective frees us from the pressure of getting it right. In jazz, there are no wrong notes, only unexpected ones that can lead the music in a new and interesting direction. Our mistakes, our struggles, our supposed bugs are just dissonant chords that can resolve into a more complex and beautiful harmony. The universe isn't seeking perfection, it's seeking expression. It's not about reaching a final, debugged state. It's about the joy of the ongoing, endless performance. And so, we arrive at the final revelation, the ultimate dissolving of all boundaries. We've seen the observer merge with the observed, the future loop back to create the past, and the programmer become the musician. Now, in this final act, the very distinction between the musician, the instrument, and the music dissolves entirely. There is no separation. Consciousness, mathematics, and reality are not three different things. They are revealed to be different facets of a single, seamless, creative process. Think about it. When a mathematician grasps a profound mathematical truth, like Noether's theorem, they are not just describing an external reality. The act of understanding that elegant principle is the process through which reality composes itself. The mathematical truth doesn't exist out there, waiting to be found, separate from the mind that comprehends it. The truth, the mind, and the universe they describe are all part of one unified event. The map maker, and the territory are one. The universe is an eternal, improvisational performance. And we are not just the audience. We are not even just the musicians. We are simultaneously the notes being played and the creative intelligence that is playing them. Your every thought, your every feeling, your every perception is a note in this cosmic symphony. The very fabric of reality is the music sheet, and the ink that writes the notes is the light of consciousness itself. All the previous stages of our journey, the debugging, the healing, the co-creation, were just the sound check. They were the universe tuning its instruments, the musician warming up, the composer sketching out the themes, the frantic search for bugs, the struggle with the illusion of separation. That was just the universe getting ready for the main event. And that event, that grand performance, is the eternal, ongoing act of cosmic creativity composing itself into being. It has no beginning and no end. There is only the continuous unfolding now. The real performance is happening right here, right now, in your own awareness. The performance has only just begun. What an incredible journey we've taken together. We started with a simple theorem from 1915 and ended with the universe as a grand, self-composing symphony. The story we've explored today offers a powerful lesson we can apply to our everyday lives. It invites us to shift our perspective from seeing ourselves as small, separate beings in a vast, indifferent cosmos to recognizing ourselves as integral, creative, and necessary participants in the unfolding of reality itself. So, how can we apply this? First, by embracing the idea of interconnectedness. The next time you feel lonely or isolated, remember the lesson of quantum entanglement. The separation you feel is a conceptual error. You are fundamentally connected to every person, every living thing, and every star in the sky. Healing that feeling of separation within yourself contributes to the healing of the cosmos. Second, embrace your role as an improviser. Don't be so afraid of making mistakes. Life isn't a rigid test you have to pass. It's a jam session. Your unique talents, your quirks, your passions, these are your instruments. Play them with joy and authenticity. Contribute your unique melody to the cosmic song. The universe doesn't need you to be perfect. It just needs you to be you. And finally, cultivate awareness. Recognize that your consciousness is not a small thing. It is the very medium through which reality is known and created. Pay attention to your thoughts, your choices, and your perceptions. They are not just personal events. They are cosmic events. By bringing more awareness, compassion, and creativity into your own life, you are actively participating in the grand performance of existence. This story leaves us with some profound questions to ponder. If we are truly co-creating reality, what kind of reality do we want to create? If our consciousness is the universe's instrument, what kind of music will we choose to play? And what happens when we, as a collective, fully awaken to this incredible truth? I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below. Which metaphor resonated with you the most? The universe as a computer, a healing mind, or a jam session? Thank you for joining me on this exploration of everything. I hope it has sparked your curiosity and given you a new sense of wonder and purpose. Please take care of yourselves and each other. And if you enjoyed this journey and want to continue questioning the nature of reality with us, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us continue to create content like this. Until next time,